Hi, this is my second attempt at making my first knitting crafting podcast. My name's Jennifer. I live in Ohio. I usually go by Jen. I usually only hear Jennifer if I'm in trouble for something. Most of my coworkers refer to me as Jenny, which, yeah, I don't go by Jenny. I go by Jen or Jennifer, but I don't really care, so not too much. I've been married for almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in October, to a great guy named Jason. I got 3 little kids. Their names are Matthew, Catherine, and Patrick. And we call them Matt, Pat, and Cat. We thought they'd be cute if they rhymed. And this is the second time filming this. The first time, I had my video camera set up to take pictures. So I got 3 great pictures of my face. Doesn't make for a very good video. Anyway, I'm calling this the A.D.H.D knitter, which I've been diagnosed with A.D.H.D since I was in elementary school. Actually, I was diagnosed with A.D.D, but that was the only label they had for it back then, because this was in the 80s and they did not go around diagnosing that often. So like never. My mom had to fight with the school to get me diagnosed. But yeah, so what that is, how that shows up in my knitting and stuff. I have very short attention span. Me and my 5-year-old both have the same attention span. It's great. At work, I call myself Dory on a lot of occasions because they'll stand there, tell me something. 5 minutes later, I've already forgotten it. Yeah, that's fun. And shiny objects, things that interest me, distract me very easily. And I have a bunch of different interests. More so than most people probably. But that's just how it shows up. And I can really switch between them pretty easily and come back to them, no problem. I get hyper-focused on some stuff. So what that means is I'll get really engrossed into something and I'll just tune out everything else and you can't distract me like good television program. Or actually it shows up with me more in reading. I'll be in a really good book. You can talk to me and stuff and think I'm listening and I'm not. Actually, that happens more in my husband than me. I just get so engrossed I don't hear, and they have to be like, Jen! Oh, what? Yeah. But anyway, that's how it shows up a lot for me. At work, I have a system set up since I was having problems and stuff, so I have stuff set up there that help me out with my knitting, with my work. And for me, it's just routines and step-by-step process. And lots of coffee. I love coffee. So, I decided I'd do this podcast because I like to show off my knitting and what I do. And I think some of my friends and coworkers are getting kind of tired of me talking about it and showing it off to them. And they're like, yeah, great. Yeah, so I decided I'd make up this podcast and do it that way. So, what I've been doing today before I started knitting or podcasting and all that is like I said, with my ADHD and stuff, I have a lot of interest and that extends. This went so much better the first time I did it. Okay, so a lot of my ADHD shows up in my interests. Like, I like knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, some sewing. I do gardening. I do hydroponics. I do canning, baking. I've kind of started letting my husband do the cooking because he's much better at it, and the kids like what he makes a lot better than what I make most of the time. So, yeah. But anyway. So today, before I started this, I was in the kitchen for at least, let's see, I started about 10 o'clock and didn't finish up until I think I pulled the jars out of the water bath canner about 5 o'clock. Yeah, I was canning cherry pie filling for that long. And when you have ADHD and you do a project that long, your attention span is shot for the rest of the day. You only have so much attention span, and once you blow that, you're in deep trouble. So this podcast will not be as good as the one I did the other day because, yeah, it's going to bounce around. I'm sorry. But anyway, so I spent most of the day making cherry pie filling and 2 cherry pies because I did not do that the other day, and I have to make them today or else I will have a riot on my hands. But anyway, I got them baked. Now they just gotta get eaten. But yeah, so before I started knitting today, I had to get all the cherry pie filling done. And the reason I'm talking about that is because I tossed one of my jars of cherry pie filling in as a finished object. Because technically it's a finished object and it's something I made. So that's how that's going. So here's the jar of cherry pie filling. Isn't it pretty? Actually, this is from the other day. I made 7 quarts. And I'm really happy with this. My husband is even more happy because he loves this stuff. He said I still have to make more. And I talked to my mom today and she said I had to give her some. So yeah, I'll be making more cherry pie filling on top of knitting and everything else. But yeah, that's what I do. I just bounce around from one thing to the other. I'm taping this as once my kids are supposed to be asleep in bed. 2 out of 3. I'm good with that. Okay, now I go to finished objects. My first finished object is the first hat I ever made. I pulled it out because I don't have that many finished objects I can show right now. And, you know, I did a pretty good job on it. It was the first hat I ever made. I got the pattern out of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Knitting and Crocheting. I still have that book. I still refer to it, and I love it. But anyway, this, and I'll just put it on, it'll be easier, is the first hat I ever made. As you can see, it's just a simple rolled brim basic hat. It's made out of bulky weight yarn. I still think about making another one because I love this one so much. And, you know, I think I did a pretty good job on it. It's, well, except for that right there, which you can tell I did not know how to join colors too well, but, you know, like I said, first hat. I think I did pretty darn good. And, yeah, so it's just a simple rolled brim hat. I love the pattern. It's nice and easy. I think it's made out of Lion Brand woolies in the chunky. And I wear this a lot in the fall before it gets too cold, because since it's a rolled brim hat, it doesn't cover my ears as good, and I live in Ohio. I live in central Ohio where we have no hills. It's just, central Ohio is kind of up on a plateau, so we get lots and lots of wind. So this does not cover my ears in the winter. I love it, but it's a spring-fall kind of hat. So it doesn't get worn in the winter very much because even though it's pretty warm, it just, my ears get cold. And this one I made last year. This is made out of Bernat Pop acrylic. And it's a crocheted hat. I wear this a lot in the winter because I can cover my ears. It folds up. It's nice and warm. And this is my, it's cold out, but not cold enough where I have to break out what I refer to as my dorky ear flap hat. Or Nan Nook hat. But yeah, I think this turned out pretty good. This is crochet, not knitting. The pattern is Gotcha Covered number 2, I believe, is the crochet one. But yeah, I made this out of Bernat Pop. I forget the colorway, but I always get a lot of compliments when I wear this. And this and one other, I think people ask me if I bought it, where I bought it at, which I take as a great compliment. So I must have done it pretty good. But yeah, this is one of my winter hats that I always wear. And my next finished object is a sock I'm working on. It's the Rose City Roller, made out of No Maker's Skinny Dunker. I'm kind of sad her shop is going away, but you know, it happens. But yeah, so this is the only sock I got done. I'm working on the other one. It's in my whips. But yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. I kind of like that it's a nice little just rolled cuff. I don't have to do any ribbing. So no purling really, except for the heel, which I'm probably going to change the heel because a lot of people like this heel with the slip stitch. The slip stitched heel. But I really don't like it. I'd rather just do straight stitch. But I wanted to do the pattern as it called for first, before I did any changes. I figured knitting's like baking. You do it once the way the pattern says, and then the next time if you want to change it, you change it. But yeah, this is one of my finished objects. This is just, I think this is just her regular everyday sock base. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah. I love knitting socks. You'll see how many socks I have as works in progress, because I decided to pull out all my works in progress. Except for a few that are very buried that I wasn't going to go digging for. And then my last finished object is crochet. This is a corner-to-corner crochet dishcloth. I had two others, but they have disappeared thanks to my three littles. They can make things disappear faster than I can. But anyway, this is just simple corner to corner. You start at this corner and crochet to this corner. It's a crochet version of Granny's favorite dishcloth. Except no holes. And I put, one modification I did was I put a little loopy holder thing on it because most of my dishcloths, nobody likes to use them for dishcloths. They like to use them as pot holders. So I put little these things on them. I can't remember what they're called. Hooky things on them. And turn them into pot holders because that's what they get used for. They actually work pretty good for that. I've also taken and made some of these with holding a strand of cotton. Like peaches and cream cotton, and a strand of like the scrubby stuff they make to make scrubbies. I can't remember what that yarn's called. I know Red Heart makes it, and and Yarn Bee makes some. And you just hold that together and crochet with it, and put a loop on it in one of these like this, and it makes a really great bath scrubby for the shower. It works just as good as a bath poof, and you can toss it in the washing machine. So those are my finished objects. Now I shall get into my mountain of whips because I have a bunch of them. That's why I call myself the A.D.H.D knitter, because I love to cast on stuff, and I for some reason have impulse control issues, which actually goes along with the A.D.H.D, so. But it makes me very creative. So my first whip is in this Fates Thread Harry Potter bag, which I love. My husband took one look and was like, oh, it's Harry Potter and hippies. I'm like, yes it is, but I like it. So anyway, this is the second Rose City roller sock. Yeah, I haven't got too far on it. I've been busy canning and other stuff. Haven't been really working on it like I should. It'll get done this week, hopefully. So that's my first work in progress. My second work in progress is my Jimmy Bean's Crochet Club that I just started. This is this month's crochet club. I just started, and now I gotta rip all this out because I screwed up. I gotta go back and figure out where I screwed up and how to fix it. Yeah. But, you know, it's a start. But yeah, I like getting the Jimmy beans because they're not too expensive and they're usually pretty good projects. I'm not that thrilled about the Jimmy beans project that I got this month for the beanie bag because it's a knitted cactus in a flower pot. Yeah, I like it. It's cute. Would I ever knit it? Probably not. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that. So my second whip is tangled up. Give me one sec here. Always be prepared when you make a YouTube video. As you can see, I'm not. Okay. My second whip is my husband's sock, which is in my little hedgehog bag. Also by Fate's Thread. I just love her shop, so I got a bunch of her bags. But yeah, this is a little cute flower hedgehog. And this is my husband's sock. He likes little ankle socks, so that's what I did. Little ankle sock. The orange is from Fire Opal Fibers. And a little mini skein, which I found if you order her mini skeins for like heels and cuffs, order at least 2, because I had to order a second one in order to do the second sock. And I don't know what it is. Of course, also I'm doing the OMG spacious heel sock, and this took a lot more orange than I thought it would. So, but yeah. So just order 2 if you need heels and cuffs and toes, because this isn't going to have a toe in orange. But, and then this color is Leading in Fiber Arts. I think it's Andy and Adam, or Adam and Andy, something like that. If you go on their website, you'll figure it out. But yeah. So this is, my husband loves orange and camo, so I said I'd make him a pair of orange and camo socks. The last pair were red and camo because that's what I had. But yeah, these are his socks. All I have to do is do the foot and the second sock. So, I love knitting socks, as you will see. So that's that. My next project, since it's getting is... Why did I put this in the pile? Okay, this is a pattern called Necessary Neutrals. It's a pattern on Ravelry. And I just started it. It's a shawl that you do a bunch of mitered squares on. And I decided I'd do it in this gray and this purple. So these 2 colors. I had picked these out originally for a different shawl. It was Unheeded Warnings by Barbara Benson. And it's a nice pattern. It's pretty. I just didn't like it. It was not my thing. I got this far and decided, nope, not my thing. So I ripped it all out and decided I'd go this route. So this is going to, hopefully I'll get a little further on this and can show you what I'm doing. Hopefully I figure out what I'm doing. But so far so easy. So it's a shawl with just a bunch of mitered squares. And it's going to look pretty neat when I'm done. I didn't know it was in the stack, so I haven't got too far on it. That's the first corner. But we'll see where it goes to. Next is my Dobby Socks, which are residing in... I love this bag. I love dragons. And these are patchwork dragons, so they're really cute. is a Fates thread bag, her Patchwork Dragons. I just love this. This is so cute. Actually, this was a custom order I did off of her. I picked out the fabric and sent the picture to her, and she ordered it and made the bag. And I just love it. Led to a whole conversation with her about dragons also, which was kind of fun. But this is my Dobby sock. The colorway, the main colorway is Lolo Did It Dobby Socks. Hence the reason I call it my Dobby sock. And the cuff is in her Professor Plum color way. But I love Harry Potter. So I had to, when I saw Dobby Socks and saw the colors, I thought I have to make a pair of these. So that's what I did. So hopefully I get these done soon. What I need is another vacation where I have like an 8-hour car trip. That's not going to happen anytime soon, but if I take any trips, I'll be the one driving. So that's my other sock I'm working on. This sock I cast on for my son. He picked out the yarn in that, so it's down fluffy. Cat on the table. But yeah, this is just Patton's Croy. I don't know the colorway. I just know it's a bunch of blue and gray stripes. So I'm working on those for my Matthew. He doesn't get excited about them as much as Patrick does, but you know, I gotta keep things a little bit fair. I gotta get their sister done a pair of socks also. I got Patrick's done on vacation. There are some rainbow socks. And so I started on Matthew's next, and I need to start on Catherine a pair of rainbow socks because she wants the socks that are exactly the same as her brother's, and I hate the yarn. But she picked it out, so what am I going to do? My next project is not a sock. Okay, so I like making socks. But this is the Periscoping Sisters Make-Along. A Mother's Gift. I really need to get this on here good. But yeah, so this is how far I've gotten with it. I love it. I like working on it. I need to take about a week and work on it. But yeah. I did this in Lolo Did It plush sock. I did it in her Wild Horses and Bourbon. I just thought the two colors went together really good, and they look really good on me. So hopefully I can get this done before winter so I can wear it to church. I probably won't wear it to work. I work in the tire department. Wearing a fancy shawl to work in the tire department is probably not the best idea, though it would keep me warm, and that is important. Oh, and this is another Fates thread bag. It's another one of those. I found fabric I liked online and sent her a picture of it and did a custom order. It's a shawl size bag. So, it's very pretty and cute. And my next whip is a sock I cast on because I really liked the yarn. I really wanted to cast it on and work on it. Great motivation for casting on a sock, I know, but this is Desert Vista Dye Works. I don't remember what it's called. I just know the picture had orcas, and I love the colors, which are gray, like pale lavender, some darker muted purple, white and black, but they're so pretty. I like them. Everybody else just kind of looked at it and said, yeah, that's cute, but I like it. So, and it's going on my feet, so that's the only person that really matters. But yeah, these I'm going to be referring to as my whale socks. I really should work on these some more. I like them. On top of all those I'm working on. So, those are my Desert Vista socks. And then I'm actually not sure what's in. Oh yeah. And this is another pair of socks for me. these, ooh, my camera really blows that out. These are from Arrowhead Fibers, I believe. Yeah, these are Arrowhead Fibers. I got this color from her. I don't know what it is, but she wasn't giving me my order quick enough, which I thought she's doing great, but she apparently thought she wasn't getting it to me quick enough, so sent me a bonus mini skein. And this is Unicorns Are For Real. These are my colors. These are my favorite colors. Like, this is like the perfect color combination for me. I love purples. I love blues. So this is like perfect colors for me. And Arrowhead Fibers is a local dyer to the Central Ohio, Columbus area. And so far I had really good luck ordering from her and stuff. And, you know, I hope to order more from her. I can't order all the pretty yarn. My husband would have a fit. I think he already has a fit with all I order now, but I gotta try to use up some of the stuff I have before I buy more to justify that. And I'm also going to a wool and fiber festival down in Yellow Springs in September, so I'm trying to not buy yarn by the time so when I go down there I can kind of feel better about buying stuff. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so this is my, I don't know what number sock this is, but this is another sock I'm working on. And I think I just stabbed myself. But yeah. So, and, oops, sorry about that. And my last whip is just something I started working on for the fun of it. I'm friends with the Proper Pineapple YouTube, Holly, and I was doing her tutorial for Boomerang Scarf. So I had a couple skeins of sock yarn that when I bought them, I kind of liked the color, but now I'm not really sure about them. So I'm crocheting a boomerang scarf. This I will probably wear to work. But yeah, so this is just a simple boomerang scarf following Holly's tutorial on it. You can find it on our channel, The Proper Pineapple. Yeah, this is pretty simple. I haven't made it too far. It does work up pretty good. It's one of my projects I classify as church knitting. Yes, I knit during church service. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I have to have my hands busy or else my attention goes out the window. If my hands are busy, I can pay attention to what the preacher is saying. That's how it works for me. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if it works, don't knock it. And now we come to adding to the hoard. I love dragons, so I figured I'd go with a dragon reference because they hoard things. And I like dragons. Yeah, I'm weird. I've always been weird. I acknowledge it now. And I just kind of figure being normal is boring. So let's go with weird. Okay, so one of the things I just got, because I finally broke down and decided, okay, maybe I'll learn how to spin. I have made several attempts this afternoon. It is not as easy as I thought it was. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I cannot find a good book on it. So, what I got was a kit from Cottontail Farm, Virginia. So, is $15 for a drop spindle and fleece. And anybody who knows a good video for how to do this or have any suggestions on how to make it easier would be very, very much appreciated, because I do not do it well. I'm thinking I probably need something electric motorized because I am not coordinated at all. I'm pretty sure your yarn is not supposed to look like this. I will keep practicing and see if I get any better. But yeah, that has so far been my attempt at spinning. I may have wasted my money with that. And now for some acquisitions that are actually yarn already made up that I can knit with. So I got the Lolo Did It Hippo for Independence. I decided to go with red. I like red also. And we'll see how this knits up. I love knitting with the hippo for Mother's Day. I made a pair of socks for my mother. They were hippo for Mother's Day and her Material Girl, which is very hot pink. But it looked really good. Go and get a drink of water now. I don't talk much, so this is interesting. And then I also got, okay, so I really love Lolo Did It yarn. So I get a lot of her stuff. But this is her Monsters of the World Sock Club, I believe. And this was her very first one she put out for May. And this is El Chupacabra. And it's very pretty and I like it. I can't wait to knit with it. But I gotta finish this stuff first. And then I also got June's, which I love Bigfoot and cryptozoology and all that. So all this stuff is really right up my alley. I really love weird stuff. Just not wax museums. But I won't go into that. That's just, sorry. Anyway, this is her June. And it's Bigfoot. So hence the brown and the green forest. And I can't wait to make a pair of socks out of this. It's going to be so neat looking. And I also ordered her July Godzilla, which I can't wait to get that. That's not going to be a pair of socks for me. That's going to be a pair of socks for my husband because he loves Godzilla. And he said not to make him any more socks, but I'm making him a pair of those because you do not know how many Godzilla toys we have upstairs that he gave the kids. Or Godzilla references, I hear. He loves Godzilla. Of course, I love dragons and Star Wars and superheroes like Marvel and DC, so I really can't talk. Yeah. We make a great pair, me and him. My parents are two opposites, like completely opposite people. And then me and my husband are a lot alike. So it's like kind of weird for me because we are so much alike. We're different in different ways, but we have a lot of the same interests. I just look up like, how did mom and dad make it work without so many interests in common? But, you know, they made it work. They're still married and kicking and grumping, which apparently is normal for married couples. And then my next acquisition, these are a little bit more out of my color range comfort zone, but I'll probably make a pair of socks for my mother. These are more her kind of colors, but I do like them, so I'll probably make me a pair of socks also, because I can get 2 pairs of socks from a 100-gram skein. I don't know why, but I can, so I go with it. This is Lemonade Shop. I think it's Ice Cream Truck? Yeah, Ice Cream Truck set. And it comes with this really bright orange and yellow mini skein. And then it also comes with this dark blue and aqua. So what I plan on doing is using this for my mom's sock and this for my sock. So that should turn out pretty neat. I just hope I have enough of the minis to do it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then my next one I got is from Desert Vista Dye Works. I like her. I love her stuff too. And it's one of the only ones I got of her Zombody colorways. but it was for Halloween, and it was Frankenstein. And since he's already a zombie, that didn't bother me as much. And it's Frankenzombody. So it's this really neat black and purple with this decaying speckled bit. So these should be really fun Halloween socks. I just gotta get them cast on and made before Halloween. We'll see how that goes. I might be optimistic. Hannah ordered me another skein of her, Halloween sock yarn. So I really need to work on my impulse control. And this is also from Desert Vista Dye Works. It's a variegated yarn, so it's not a self-striping yarn. And like I said, I really like superheroes. Me and my husband have been going and seeing every Marvel superhero movie that has come out. We don't go to DC ones as much because we haven't enjoyed them as much. Though if The Flash comes out, I will be going and seeing The Flash because I love The Flash. But this is Suicide Squad. And I think the colors are just spot on from the movie poster. I love the movie. It is one of the DC ones I actually liked. Some people didn't like it, but I loved it. I really want to see another one. And of course, I like about any movie with Will Smith in it. I'm a product of the 80s. What do you expect? But yeah. So this is Suicide Squad. I'm trying to decide if I want to make socks out of this or make a sockhead hat. Ooh, sockhead hat. That would be cool to wear to work. I like hats. My husband told me no more hats, but that was last winter. And then I went on vacation. There's a yarn shop down in Nashville called House of Yarn. H-A-U-S of Yarn. And I love the shop. I wish I lived in Nashville so I could go to the shop. Well, that's the only reason I wish I lived in Nashville. My sister lives in Nashville area, so I've been there quite a bit. Not my favorite city, but that's me. I really prefer to live where I live. But that's a great yarn shop if you ever get a chance to stop by and go there. The one lady I talked to was really nice and shared my love of sock knitting, so she's really great to talk to. But I got Knitted Wit Fairy Lights, which I'll probably turn into either hat or socks, which, since it's already caked up, I might do a sockhead hat, because this would be really great to wear to work. But this is my perfect color scheme. These blues and purples and greens, this is my colors. I love these kind of colors. I love purple. Once I went to church, and I have a purple winter coat. I had on, at the time I had a pair of purple tennis shoes, and I had on my favorite purple long sleeve shirt. And I wasn't even thinking about what I was wearing. Somebody looked at me, "You like the color purple, don't you?" "Uh-huh." And I looked at my outfit. Oh, that's why they asked that. I'm not too swift sometimes. And then this is a local dyer to Nashville called The Old Rusted Chair. And this color is Prankster. And I really like this one too. This is definitely going to be socks because I can't wear anything white and not get messed up. But this is definitely going to be a pair of socks. I'm seriously considering making a pair of Rose City rollers in this color and hoping I have enough for a whole pair of socks too. Because I just love this. This is so pretty. But yeah, that's all the yarn I have recently gotten. I have some more that's coming on the way. And I'm going to try not to buy any more until that Wool and Fiber Festival. Well, anyway, that's my crazy knitting and all that. There's one last thing I want to talk about. And if you're not into gardening, you can go ahead and shut it off because this is for people who've seen my gardening videos. Yes, I'm still gardening. Hold on. yes, I am still gardening. I kind of tried to do it last winter and pretty much overdid it and went into I don't want to see it, look at it, or touch it. So it has taken me until now to get back into it. My husband pretty much planted the tomatoes this year. My onions I got out late. My potatoes I got out late. Which, strangely enough, I got them out late, but they're doing great. So that should tell me something. My raspberries and blackberries have all done fantastic this year. I've been getting... Oh, I got a couple of gallon-sized bags in the freezer of raspberries, and there's another picking out there I gotta do. I'll probably do that Monday, because I'm not going. I've told my husband I'm not canning any cherry pie filling Monday. I need a break. Gooseberry bush is doing good. My currants are doing great. There's one that's getting overtaken by weeds. I need to figure out weed mulch around it just so it's happy. Flower beds are doing good, except for the fact they're covered in weeds in the backyard. Flower bed is perfectly weeded. It just has a couple pumpkin vines taking over it. Yeah, they're volunteers and they look so healthy I left them. So they're taking over the flower bed. And I have sunflowers that reseeded and went nuts. And I kind of listened to my husband and he said, oh, leave the sunflowers. Okay. Might not listen to him next year. But, so those are doing great. Rhubarb did good. I just wasn't in the mood to pick it like I should. So next year, hopefully I'll pick the rhubarb better. I got 4 tomatoes in the greenhouse. I have them set up. 3 of them are in Walmart bags filled with potting soil. And sitting in like those big black plastic concrete mixing totes. So they're in there. And one's in a big plastic pot in the black plastic tote. So I just fill those up with water. And it lasts a couple days for me. So I don't have to water them every day. So those are doing great. They have gone into... I've started looking at them and thinking of Little Shop Before or Feed Me Seymour. They're doing so well. I've been giving them hydroponic solution once a week as a feeding, and they seem to love it. So those tomatoes are doing great. The ones in the garden are doing great. I got the beds weeded, and looks like I'm going to have tomatoes. What else? Got 1 tomato in a pot outside the greenhouse that's doing really good too. I've just started giving him hydroponic solution. Yeah, so don't have as much basil this year. Like I said, I just wasn't into gardening. I harvested my potatoes from containers this year. If you've seen my last videos, I have like 4 12-inch by 12-inch containers that I plant potatoes in. I got a pretty good harvest from those. I only put 2 potatoes in it this year, and that seems to be the magic number. So they did really good. I went with a variety called Irish Cobbler. It seems to be a really good potato, so I might plant more of those in my main beds next year. But, yeah, so the garden's doing great. Hopefully, with kind of cutting back this year, I can get into it really good next year. I might do some hydroponics down the basement and grow some basil down there. I gotta get my hydroponic tote cleaned out. It got yucky and I just set outside and it's been out there for a while now. I just need to get it cleaned up and move back down to the basement. Oh, and figured out how to keep cats out of the basement while I'm working down there. Because I don't know why, but I gotta have that basement door open when I'm down there or else I feel claustrophobic. It's not a small basement. I'd just rather have the door open and know I can get out of it very easily. So yeah, that's my life. That's what's been going on. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe. I'm not going to push for subscribers because I really don't like being pushed for subscribing. So if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you don't, you don't have to. Thanks for your time. I'll see you next week or a couple weeks. We'll just see what I feel like doing. Talk to you later. Bye.